She's in London. She's staying with Rosamond.
She can't be. She was here for lunch. She didn't say anything.
She went up this afternoon. She'll be back tomorrow, so I've asked her to come for tea. You must persuade her to leave Maud Bagshaw alone.
I don't believe even Mamma will pick a quarrel in front of the king.
I wonder if he can come early.
Are you excited?
I am a bit. Are you?
Would it be common to admit it?
Not to an American.
Elizabeth McGovern, also known as Cora Crawley, joins us at the table. Should we call you Lady Grantham? Would that be better?
Yes, and
This is funny.
whatever you want.
Elizabeth, one of your colleagues said it's like coming back from school holidays. Yeah. Another one said it's like getting into a nice pair of cozy slippers. What was it like for you to do the movie after?
Well, it was strangely and almost scarily as though we'd never stopped.
Really? You felt that?
That thing that happens when you get to a certain age and time just flies so fast.
Yeah.
It had been 3 years since we last shot the series, but as soon as we were all in the house again, it just seemed as though really we were back in the family.
Did you feel pressure? Because of those of us who watched the show, and I certainly did, we have such expectations about what this movie's going to be. Did you feel the pressure of that? Or you said, listen, we're just going to make a delightful, fun movie, is how they described it?
Well, I was very relieved that I wasn't the one that had to write it.
There you go.
You know, because I did feel a lot of pressure. I mean, I was actually thinking, is this such a good idea? Because people have so much affection for those characters and for that series. And it's a risk. And I think there were lots of incarnations of the script that were thrown out, and they experimented with different tacks and finally decided, no, we want to give the fans what they want. We want to go back in time, and we indulge in the nostalgia of people missing the series as much as they miss that era. And just let's hang out with these people that we've spent so much time with and we've invested a lot in, and let's have an adventure.
I got excited just listening to the music.
It picks up just what?
I got it
it's
just
like a year
hearing
later.
the music.
It's like a year later, and
exactly.
and the King and Queen are coming.
Yeah, it's a year later, and I'm 3 years older. Never mind. And the King and Queen are coming to dinner. So that's the event.
And all the drama that ensues. You felt the same way about the music?
Oh, I love the music. I wish the music could be our music, like going into the weather report. It just makes you feel dignified. But that's actually one of my questions here. There's nostalgia involved in the show. I loved the PBS series, and I'm looking forward to the movie. And why do you think people connect with that era so much? What is it about it that makes us want to swoon?
You know, I think that things are moving so fast at the moment that psychologically we cannot actually keep up with it. We cannot actually deal with the enormous amount of choice we have, our enormous ability to talk to everyone at any time of the day, the kind of stimulation that is constantly being fed into our brains, and to go back to a place in time where there was no choice. People had a job. They accepted the job for life. People had a role. They were told, and they knew how to behave. If they didn't know, Carson would tell them.
Yes.
Right.
It was easier.
There's something to be said too, Elizabeth, about disagreeing without destroying.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I mean, well, we were talking earlier about the value of good manners.
Yes.
I think that's something that this show has reminded people, that to treat each other with respect, no matter what our walk of life. I mean, the downstairs people are just as interesting to us, to the camera, as the upstairs people. It isn't everything to be the rich guy. And people disagree, but they respect each other as people.
You had your premiere for this the other night at Lincoln Center, which is coming home in a way for you because you went to Juilliard.
I did.
But almost as soon as you got to Juilliard, you got plucked into your first film, which was Ordinary People, at the age of 19?
Yes.
I remember.
And then your next film, you get an Oscar nomination.
Yeah, it was crazy.
What was that time like?
I feel as though it was a trauma. I know it's very strange.
Well, it must have been shocking in a lot of ways.
I almost have a sort of blackout about it, because I think that sometimes something that is a outwardly successful experience, it can be a traumatic one because it changes your life in a way that it's hard to catch up with. And suddenly I was in a different level, a different pay grade to all my friends who were still in college. And but you know. So it's been okay. I can't complain.
And I think it's so cool you're in a band, Sadie and the Hotheads.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you Sadie or are you the Hothead?
I'm Sadie.
You're Sadie.
Yeah, and my musicians are just so nice and so gentle and so sweet that I had to call them the Hotheads.
Yeah, there are many sides to Elizabeth. Many sides. Nice to have you here.
Thank you
Congrats
so
on the
much.
movie.
Good
It's
luck on the
you
movie.
and Hustlers. There's a lot to choose from at the box office this weekend. Hustlers is also a lot of fun. And you can do both. You're
Double
right.
feature.
Yeah.
Thank you, Elizabeth McGovern.
Thank you for having me.
Downton Abbey opens in theaters this Friday.